When checking out a used car, everyone has their own techniques. Some head straight to the engine. For others, the paint holds clues to the car's history. Auto appraiser Dean Renwick offers some valuable tips when shopping for a classic.
You should look down the sides of the car, make sure that it is a nice straight car. Some vehicles you can check around the wheel well lips to see if it has a nice clean lip on it and it hasn't been filled with Bondo. Some other areas, when you open a door, you look inside a door. Doors are mostly steel skinned and they're crimped over with a little crimp, and that should leave a nice clean lip, kind of an edge around there, and you want to see that that's there. If a car has been extensively rust repaired, you'll see it's been all filled with plastic and it's smooth and it doesn't have that nice even lip around it. Another thing, I see there's one car over here and you look underneath and there's a huge puddle of some kind of an oil, a transmission fluid, so you want to see that the car isn't leaking something it shouldn't be. Okay, now let's take a look at this 57 Chevy. It's a Bel Air, it's a four-door hardtop, and by the front of the car we can tell with the anodized V it should be a V8 car, so we'll just check and see that it is what it's supposed to be. Yeah, by golly it is. It's got a correct Chevrolet V8 motor. And what you could tell, now here's one of the things you'll find, and it's very common to 50s Chevrolets, is the hood springs are very weak. So you don't just lift it up, stick your head in, have it come down and just chop your head off. So you have to be careful with that. Now the other thing that we'll notice with this car, looking at it to buy it and trying to put a price on it, how much am I going to have to spend after I buy this car? Well, you're going to need some chrome plating on this car, because you can see here where it's original and it's very pitted. The little coves in here, they're in very good condition. The anodized is still quite acceptable for the car. This car is nice in that it has the optional bumper guards on it. Now then, after we've had a look at the chrome plating, decided what has to be done, we'll go and we'll check the car to see if it has some plastic filler in the body. So we haven't looked at this car, so this will be new for us. Just put our magnet on, and for anybody else who tries this, you want to make sure you just put the magnet on and you take it off. You don't put it on and slide it all down the side of somebody's car, because you'll scratch the paint. So far, it's good. So we can see this car is pretty good. It is all steel. There's no filler. Now what we do find is there's quite a problem in here with the fitting of this rear door. It's in almost ½ inch. And this door is a little difficult to operate. You'll see in here it's in need of some interior work. You remember what I was talking about with the door skin lips? See how this lip is crimped over? It's a little bit of rust down in here, but the lip is still here. What we do find is when the car was painted, a lot of the components have been oversprayed. This is a little rubber bumper block. That should be all black rubber, but it's been oversprayed. Now here we have a 1964 Corvair Monza, quite a desirable car today in spite of what Ralph Nader said. I had one years ago, drove it for many, many miles and just had lots of fun with it. This car looks to be in generally good condition. It was, I understand, an American car that was imported to Canada. A couple of things that we'll check. We'll do our magnet check again, which seems okay so far. Now when we get down to here in one of the usual areas, just see that magnet just will not stick. So there's some filler in there. Now then, another thing you would want to check to see if there's wear in the hinge pins, and there is a little bit of wear in this car. But this car doesn't look like a very abused car. The upholstery looks nice, the dash is good, it still has the factory glass in it, but again, it does have a little bit of filler. But not a lot of filler and not a lot particularly for a Corvair. Now, there are some things on all types of vehicles that an observant individual should be aware of. One of the things that all of the people in my company check is the glass, the manufacturer's glass that made the car. And in this case, we can see, yes, this is an original triplex window, as is the front windshield original triplex. And you can see the crest right here. Now, with this particular car, it has been repainted, and these suggestions that I make apply to any car, North American car, European car, doesn't matter. This car has not had a particularly great repaint, and you'll see evidence of that around this rubber weather stripping, where there's white finish color paint, as well as some beige primer. So it's very sloppy workmanship. And you can also see, as you come around on the window rubbers and the door top rubbers, there's a tremendous amount of overspray. A quality repaint job is very, very difficult to tell. The car should have been disassembled and then repainted. It should be repainted in the factory original color, which on this particular car would show in the owner's books. When a car has been repainted a couple of times already, you've got the factory paint plus a repaint plus perhaps a third coat that needs redoing, you will have to take into account the cost of your next repaint, which will have to involve a complete strip of the car down to bare metal. The reason you have to do that is because paint expands and contracts at different rates. And the thicker the paint, it will expand and contract differently, and within 6 months you'll have spider web cracking coming out, and your new $2,000 or $3,000 or $5,000 paint job just won't look great anymore. So you have to bite the bullet and spend the extra $1,000 or whatever to completely strip that car before you have it repainted.